close phone. Willow Anderson?
Yep, that's me. How may I help you?
Oh, good! I got the right person. Nice to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you from Patrick.
Oh, you know Patrick?
That's right. Thanks for taking care of him for me.
Excuse me?
Oh, whoops. I forgot to introduce myself. Let me start over. My name is Krista. You are Patrick's wife, right?
Yes, that's right. How do you know him? Are you one of his co-workers or something? Is my husband in some kind of trouble?
Yeah, maybe you could call it that. I'm not one of his co-workers, though. Not even close. I'm his secret lover.
Secret lover? I see. Well, as you seem to know, I'm Patrick's wife. So I guess that means you're having an affair with him, right?
No, it's not like that. I'm Patrick's favorite. I'm the one he really loves, so it's not an affair.
Well, if you say so. Anyway, if what you say is true, then what could you possibly want with me?
Oh, come on. Isn't it obvious? I want you to divorce him, of course. Can you be a dear for me and please divorce him? You're causing trouble for both of us by getting in the way of our love.
Excuse me? I'm his wife. Exactly how do you figure I'm getting in the way?
Well, you're still clinging to him even though you're a wrinkly old woman. Don't you think that's a little embarrassing? Patrick wants to marry me, but he can't because of you. You're being a real nuisance. Don't you know it's not good to get in the way of true love? Do you not understand that, old lady?
So that's how it is. Where to begin?
And anyway, we're going to have a baby soon.
Oh, is that true? I see.
I'm just starting the 3rd trimester now. So if you don't divorce him ASAP, this baby won't have a father. Is that what you want for an innocent child? That would be really annoying for me. So, now that you understand the situation, can you hurry up and divorce Patrick already? A young, pretty woman like me is a better fit for Patrick than the likes of you, don't you think? After all, he's cool and rich, and he lives in a stately mansion. He deserves the best. So if you love him, then just let him go, old lady.
Okay, I think I get the picture here. I guess if you two are really having a baby, then there's no choice. I can't blame a child for the actions of their parents.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll talk to Patrick about the situation and sort out what we're going to do. So you'll have to wait a bit until we can tell you what's going on.
Okay, that's fine. As long as you divorce him as soon as you can. Hurry it up, okay?
Hey, Patrick. Are you done with work for today?
Yeah, I just finished. Is everything okay?
Do you have a minute to talk? It's kind of important.
Sure. What's happening?
I just got a message from a young woman called Krista. Do you know her? She says she's pregnant with your child. Is it true?
Huh? What? Wait a minute. What's happening?
Judging by her profile picture, she looks really young. How old is she?
Oh, I don't know. I think she's about 23 years old or something like that.
You had an affair with a woman more than 20 years younger than you? Oh, come on, Patrick. She's young enough to be your daughter. Just unbelievable. Have you no shame?
Yeah. Sorry.
Don't you remember when you promised me that you would never do something like this again?
I know. I had a lot going on, okay? I don't know. It just kind of happened.
Did you not listen to me last time? I told you I would divorce you if this ever happened again. Did you think I was joking or what? What do you take me for?
Yeah, I know. I messed up. Really sorry about all this. I made a mistake. Shouldn't have done it. I'll be the first to admit that. But you don't really plan to divorce me, right? That would be a bit of a problem for me, you see.
A problem? Yes, I'm sure it would be a problem. You're the president of the company, after all. But getting a girl half your age pregnant from an affair and then divorcing your wife? I'm sure I don't need to tell you that's not a good look, Patrick. And the chairman of your biggest client hates that kind of thing, doesn't he? You might be in serious trouble if all of this is found out.
Yeah, exactly. You can see that this could put me in a bit of a pinch, can't you? So yeah, if we could sort something out rather than resorting to a divorce, I would really appreciate it.
Is that what you want? Then what are you going to do about this girl? She's already in her 3rd trimester, so she has no choice but to give birth, right?
Yeah, I guess. Maybe we should just maintain the status quo and I could pay her child support or something? How about it?
No, not how about it. Don't give me that attitude. Ugh, I'm just so tired of this, Patrick. She's going to have a baby, for crying out loud. Take some responsibility. Just divorce me and marry her instead.
What? You're not serious. Hold on just a minute.
You know what? Depending on some conditions, I'm willing to make it an amicable divorce.
Oh, really?
The gist of the situation is, you don't want people to find out that you were having an affair. Yes? Publicly, we can just say that we fell out of love and divorce on good terms. And then you can marry that girl you cheated with before the child is born. We'll still have to divide our assets, but I won't charge you alimony. What do you think? It's a more than fair deal for you, isn't it?
Wow. You'd really do that for me? You'd really divorce me under those circumstances? But why? There's nothing in it for you.
There is something in it for me, actually. And that's getting rid of my cheating husband.
Oh, I see.
I never want to get another message from a woman you're having an affair with. I'm just sick of it. And anyway, our kids have all grown up and left home, so it's not like us divorcing will affect them too seriously. I stayed with you for them up until now, but at this point, I'm just totally over it. I can't go on. Let's just split up, okay, Patrick? Then I'll take my possessions and leave and never come back.
Wow. Are you sure that's really okay? Well, I'm willing to go along with it, but what's the condition you mentioned? It's not anything too crazy, is it?
I only have one condition, and here it is. Until our divorce is finalized, you can't contact that woman in any way.
Huh? That's all? Really?
Yeah, that's all.
You'll really divorce me like you said and not charge me alimony, and all I have to do is not contact her until the divorce is finalized?
That's the deal. Of course, if you want to keep the affair secret, it's better for you to leave as little evidence as possible. Don't you agree? And anyway, once we're officially divorced, you can do whatever you want. I don't care anymore. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to divorce me or not?
I will. I will. As long as no one finds out about my affair, then I'll go ahead with it. I'm sorry for causing you so much trouble, Willow. You must have a lot of sad memories because of my stupid behavior. But I promise I never wanted to hurt you. That was never my intention. You're a very kind woman, Willow. Let's release each other from this relationship and go and find our own happiness.
Yes, this is definitely for the best. Anyway, on your way home from work, please pick up the divorce paperwork and bring it with you. Then hand over the papers once you've filled everything in, and I'll write my half and submit it. Do we have a deal?
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Willow. You've been so understanding about this.
No problem. Good morning, Krista. Oh, finally! What took you so long? I've been waiting, you know. I told you to divorce Patrick ASAP. So anyway, when are you two going to split up? Have you done it yet? Before we get to any of that, I have something I want to confirm. Huh? And what's that? You understand that you did something immoral here, don't you? Sleeping with a married man. Yeah, of course I'm aware of all that. I wasn't born yesterday, you know. But so what if the man I fell in love with just so happens to be married? What was I supposed to do, huh?
I mean, even you were young once, so you understand where I'm coming from, right?
That's not really what I'm asking you about. I don't really care about your romantic values and so on. What I'm talking about is the legal aspect. Ultimately, you caused this divorce by pursuing a relationship with my husband. So things need to be settled properly. Don't you agree?
Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Oh! Are you talking about legal fees or something? I need to pay you money?
I see. So you really weren't born yesterday. You're not as naive as you seem. Do you understand about legal damages? That's what I'm asking for.
Let me think. Okay, I have an idea. How's this? How about $600,000? Will that do it for you?
$600,000? That's quite a lot. Are you sure about that number?
Well, I don't really know about what the standard amount is. I'm just guessing it's in that ballpark, right? And anyway, I feel bad for you. You're going to end up a sad, lonely old lady who was discarded by her wealthy husband when he fell for someone younger and more beautiful. So the fact that you're going to have a miserable life from now is kind of like my fault in a way, right? Consider this a sympathy payment. Out of the goodness of my heart. Yeah, I've decided. I'll pay you $600,000, so divorce Patrick as soon as possible. Got it?
You're a very generous young lady, aren't you? Well, if that's really what you want and we can decide on it here, then it certainly speeds up the process, I suppose. But are you really sure? $600,000 is a lot of money.
Don't even worry about it. Patrick is the president of a company anyway, so $600,000 is like loose change to him. We'll pay you with the power of our love.
Is that right? Well, if you're fine with paying that amount, then I won't argue with you. You'll pay it all in one go, won't you? If you want to split the payments into chunks, then that means you'll have a connection to me for at least a few years after the divorce. And I assume you won't want to think about me once your new life with Patrick begins, right?
Yeah, that would be a drag. Once you guys split up, I don't want to have to hear anything about you ever again. So if I pay you, will you leave us alone?
Yes, of course. $600,000 then? Are we agreed?
Yep. $600,000 it is.
In that case, I'll send you a letter of settlement to that effect. Once you receive it, can you sign it and mail it back to me? After I receive it, I'll divorce Patrick right away.
Okay, fine. I'll sign it as soon as it arrives. So let's get that divorce moving along. Yeah?
Yes. I got the letter of settlement back yesterday. Thank you for signing it so quickly. I filed for divorce first thing this morning. Patrick and I are now legally strangers.
Oh my gosh, really? Yay! It certainly took you long enough. You may have kept me waiting, but now I have everything I want. A rich husband, a stately manor. It's all mine. Life in the lap of luxury, here I come.
Congratulations on your marriage. I leave Patrick in your hands. You can do whatever you'd like now.
Thanks, lady. Man, I guess you're going to have a really hard time from here on out, huh? Thrown away by your rich, handsome husband who fell in love with another woman, losing your status and falling to the bottom rungs of society. You're going to end up being nothing but a lonely old woman now. Sucks to suck, I guess. Make sure you use that $600,000 carefully so it lasts into your old age, okay?
Oh, don't worry. I will. Speaking of that money, I have a question for you. Have you got a moment to listen to this old lady?
Huh? You want something? Well, okay then. Sure. Since I feel so bad for you, I'll take the time to answer whatever questions you have.
Is that so? Well, thank you. Anyway, here's my question. Just how are you planning to pay me $600,000? I know you said you and Patrick would pay it with the power of love and so on, but he's broke after all.
Huh? What?
Patrick doesn't have any money or savings, practically no assets to his name at all. And forgive me, but you don't seem to be rich either. Is your father a CEO or something like that? Or are you planning to win the lottery? I'm just curious about what you're going to do.
What are you even talking about, old lady? Don't be stupid. Patrick owns a stately manor and drives a bunch of sports cars. There's no way he doesn't have money. Think about how much he could get just by selling one of his cars.
Oh dear. You seem to be misunderstanding the situation you're in. Both the house and the cars are registered in my name. They're all legally my possessions, not his. So he's not going to be able to sell any of them, actually.
Huh? Wait, what? How is that possible?
Well, you see, Patrick has cheated on me 4 times before this. Every time he's cheated on me, he's had to give up some of his claim to our marriage property, bit by bit.
Huh? No way! He's cheated on you before? You mean I'm not the first?
I see. So he never told you. Well, I guess he has no reason to tell you something like that. It would probably just lead to trouble for him if you knew about how unfaithful he'd been after all. It's in his best interest to keep it secret. Like I said, he's cheated on me with 4 different women before. So I've had to deal with women like you coming to bother me 4 different times. 5 now, including you.
No, that's a lie. This isn't happening. He told me I was the only one.
Well, unfortunately for you, that's not true. His previous lovers would always apologize to me and break up with Patrick when I threatened them with having to pay me legal fees. Or they would find out that Patrick didn't have the fortunes they thought he had and break up with him. Because they would come to their senses when they were warned about his money-related problems. Not that I'm surprised. Having to pay thousands and thousands of dollars in their 20s, and all they get out of it is a middle-aged man with no money? It doesn't really seem like an equivalent exchange, does it?
Wait a minute. What do you mean he doesn't have any money? Are you serious about this? Explain yourself.
Well, like I said, he's cheated on me 4 times before. So instead of divorcing before, he apologized to me and signed away part of his claim to our property in the divorce. The first time he cheated on me, he ended up giving me all of his life savings. The second time he cheated, he gave me all of the money he'd made from selling the precious metals he owned. The third time he cheated, he gave me all the cars he owned, as well as the money he'd made after we got married. And the fourth time, he made me the legal owner of the stately manor that you're so interested in. All of the loans and whatnot are still his legal responsibility. So if he divorces me, all he'll have left is his monthly income and his house and car loans, right? He doesn't have any savings because he's a show-off and an impulse buyer who spends money faster than he can make it.
You're joking. It's not possible. This can't be true.
It is true. Remember when I said when he cheated on me a 3rd time, I got all his savings he'd made since we got married? Basically, every month, I deduct a significant amount from his salary. That's what I receive in place of alimony from a divorce. Because he's a man who doesn't have any savings.
But this is insane. Then how am I supposed to pay you $600,000? I was planning to make him pay for everything.
That's exactly what I was asking you about. I might be repeating myself here, but I won't accept you splitting the payments up over multiple years. You'll have to pay in one installment like we agreed. Even if it means you'll end up going into debt. Patrick will be getting close to retirement age by the time your child enters middle school. And by the time they're an adult, he'll be around 70 years old. All of that considered, I thought it was odd that you were willing to pay $600,000 for him. How generous of you.
No. This is never going to work. I can't deal with this. I don't want to marry him anymore. You can have him back.
I'm not interested. Sorry. Anyway, I'm waiting for that payment, all right? Goodbye, Krista.
Hey, Willow! What on earth did you say to Krista? She's pestering me about how we're going to have to pay you or something. What's going on here? Explain yourself.
You really don't know? I'm talking about the divorce settlement, of course. What else would this be about? She told me she would pay me $600,000 to divorce you. But it turns out she was planning to make you pay it all along. So I just let her know that you don't have any money or assets. That's all.
Huh? Are you crazy? What do you mean I don't have any money or assets? Why would you tell her something like that?
Even you're asking me? Did you really forget? You gave everything to me instead of divorcing when you cheated before. Well, I guess even though it's all in my name now, you were still using the cars in the house like they were your own. So maybe you forgot all about who the legal owner is.
Oh, I messed up.
Seriously? You really forgot about something so important? Your brain really is in your lower half, isn't it? Don't you know why I didn't ask you for any alimony when I decided to divorce you? Because there's nothing left to squeeze out of you.
Whoa, wait a minute. Just wait a minute, Willow. Let's not be hasty. Don't you think we should discuss this a bit more before we come to a decision? Maybe you should rethink this divorce thing. It doesn't have to be this way. I won't cheat on you anymore. I swear.
I have nothing more I want to discuss with you. Anyway, you're too late. The divorce is finalized. You and I are no longer a husband and wife. You're going to marry that girl you had an affair with, aren't you?
No, seriously, let's talk about this. Don't do this, Willow. I can't pay $600,000. That's impossible.
She said you're going to pay it. If you have a problem with it, blame her, not me. I don't want to hear it.
But why, Willow? Why did it come to this?
What are you talking about? Because of your actions. 5 times. And that's the number of times that I caught you. Anyway, make sure you pay the money. I'm going to be moving sooner rather than later. Madeline and Laurent have invited me to go and live with them in France. So I'm going to get rid of everything, including the house and the cars.
Huh? They invited you to live with them in France? What about me? Maddie never invited me anywhere.
That's because she's ashamed to call you her father.
Why?
Again, because of your actions. She gave up on you around the time it came out that you had cheated on me a second time. That's why she didn't invite you to Christmas last year either. She is pretty disgusted with you. She said, that man doesn't deserve to call himself a father. Speaking of, Nathan is about to have his first child. He told me he hadn't got around to telling you.
No way. I had no idea.
Yeah, guess why?
Because of my actions.
Oh look, you're finally learning. Anyway, maybe you'll be able to do a better job with the next child. Goodbye, Patrick. After that, Patrick messaged me incessantly, saying he wanted to talk things over with me one more time. However, I ended up blocking him and declining all of his calls. I didn't want to see him in person anymore, so I sold the house and cars and moved to Paris with my daughter. As for Patrick and Krista, apparently they got into a huge fight. Patrick decided he didn't want to marry her anymore because he was short on money and tried to break up with her. Because of that, Krista was furious with him and charged into the company headquarters where she exposed him for his cheating. As you can imagine, Patrick became the biggest topic of gossip in the company, and his biggest client heard about it and turned on him. Eventually, the fuss about the cheating died down, but it was too late. He had lost the client. Their child is going to be born any day now, so I wonder how they're planning to sort things out. Not that I really care, as they have nothing to do with me anymore. For a while, I was busy preparing to move to France, and at last I was finally able to start my new life with the support of my daughter and her husband. There are many things it's going to take a while to get used to here, but every day has been really enjoyable. I still have a mountain of money left over, so I think I'll be able to live comfortably for quite a while longer too. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, consider subscribing and hit the like button below.